We have more than 3,500 farms in the North Country, and each one is a little business, a little fiefdom, a reflection of the people who own it. Farming is very personal. People grow vegetables, or they make milk or cheese or bread, or raise turkeys or beef or chickens. It's a dizzying array of farms we have in the North Country. But one farm in the Champlain Valley is different. It doesn't have workers. It doesn't sell anything. The food is for anyone. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Morja Wealth Management, serving the North Country for 3 generations. MorjaWM.com. Securities offered through Hightower Securities, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC. Hightower is an SEC-registered investment advisor. And Kinney Drugs, whose pharmacists offer routine seasonal vaccines for older adults, including senior dose influenza, COVID, RSV, and pneumonia. Details at KinneyDrugs.com.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Tuesday, Election Day, November 4th. First up, polls are open until 9 o'clock tonight. Make sure you squeeze in some time to vote. If you haven't already, find your polling place by going to elections.ny.gov. Here are the races that we're watching tonight. The biggest is the special election to replace Democrat Billy Jones in the Assembly. There's also the Clinton County Legislature, Clinton County Clerk, Canton Town Supervisor, Watertown City Council, and many other local races. Now, after you vote on the races in your district, don't forget to turn over your ballot and vote on Proposition 1. The measure would retroactively approve construction on State Forest Preserve in the Adirondacks, and it would add additional protected acreage to the park. Emily Russell reports.
The language for Prop 1 is a little confusing. As it reads on every New York State ballot, a yes vote authorizes new ski trails and related facilities in the Adirondack Forest Preserve. The confusing thing is the work is already done. Those trails and facilities were built years ago by the Olympic Regional Development Authority. That construction at the Mount Van Hoevenberg Olympic Sports Complex in Lake Placid violated the state's constitution, which says forest preserve land shall be kept forever wild. If voters approve Prop 1, the Constitution would be amended. It would essentially approve the work after the fact. Plus, ORDA would be allowed to develop the property further with some restrictions. Prop 1 would also add 2,500 acres to the forest preserve in the Adirondacks, though the location of that land and how the state will pay for it isn't clear yet. Every major green group in the Adirondacks supports Prop 1. There hasn't been an organized opposition to the ballot measure, but some opposition expressed online is tied to confusion about Prop 1. Some of it is about not wanting to add more land to the state forest preserve, while others say ORDA's violation shouldn't be fixed by a constitutional amendment. Voting sites are open across New York today until 9 p.m. Emily Russell, North Country Public Radio.
Sand River Community Farm in Keeseville is a farm unlike any other in the North Country. It doesn't have any employees, and the food it grows isn't for sale. Its members call it neighborly farming, a kind of experiment where locals gather to work and produce food that's available for anyone in the community, no questions asked. For NCPR's ongoing volunteerism series, David Escobar stopped by a recent workday at the farm and brings us this story.
From the road, it's easy to miss Sand River Community Farm. A small iron wrought sign leads you down a dirt road to an old farmhouse tucked between a grove of black walnut trees, which are beginning to lose their leaves. About 10 people are busy working under the afternoon sun. They're digging up potatoes, peeling garlic cloves, and prepping food for the farm's weekly Sunday supper. Connor McKay stacks firewood that fuels the farm's oven. Since moving to Ausable Forks this summer, he's been coming to the farm to do a little bit of everything, harvesting vegetables, milking cows, and rotating paddock fences for sheep. But like everyone here, McKay's not paid to do that work.
I don't even think of it as volunteer work. I don't really think of it as work. It just feels like the right thing to do.
It's difficult to describe Sand River's model. The farm isn't a co-op. You can't purchase food from there, and volunteers don't work in exchange for produce or a meal. Instead, all of the food that's harvested at Sand River is offered to anyone from the local community as a gift. The whole operation depends on volunteers to help run the farm. That vision is something that really resonates with McKay.
I think really how I see it is the people that do get connected to this place, it like lands like a seed in them or like ignites a little spark. And it just shows you a new way you could go about living.
That idea, connecting people to the food they eat, is at the heart of Adam Wilson's vision for Sand River. He became a sort of caretaker for the farm 3 years ago. Wilson used to run a traditional farm business, but during the pandemic, he tried something new. Instead of selling food at a farm stand in Vermont, he began exchanging gifts of food between neighbors.
The way people responded to farming once it was no longer a business was just so different. It opened up something for people that I hadn't seen in my days as a business owner.
Wilson says the experiment was a success, but he still didn't have a home base for the project. Then a donor stepped in with $500,000 to buy an abandoned farmhouse in Keeseville. Wilson says it's the most generous gift he's ever received. It allowed him to get the farm up and running. But he says sustaining the farm's model takes a lot more work.
People do like to make the project into a victory story, like we've figured out how to grow and distribute food outside of capitalism, and that's mostly not what it looks like from behind the scenes. It looks like a whole lot of humbling and a whole lot of learning.
Now, Wilson raises cows and sheep that help restore the sandy soil, making it possible to grow greens and root vegetables. The crops are turned into prepackaged soups and meals that anyone can take from the farmhouse. And Wilson is clear about one thing. None of the food is for sale or given away for free. It's offered as a gift for anyone who's hungry.
Sometimes I call myself the chief request maker. So at a farm where nothing's for sale, the way we keep things moving forward is by asking people to contribute in all sorts of different ways.
One of the ways people help out is at Sand River's weekly farm frolics, where locals pitch in with chores. Dahlia Francis is peeling colorful red and yellow corn kernels into a metal bowl.
We're shelling the kernels off of the cob, and then it will go into storage. If it stays on these kernels, it can mold.
Francis has been a regular since spring. She says she enjoys getting her hands dirty working, but she says working at Sand River taps into something deeper, an older way of living that predates commercial agriculture.
Our communities got by and were ran through relational living with one another. The point of Sand River is to remind us that there's a way to live outside of money where we're actually just helping and taking care of each other because we're human beings, and that's what we've always done.
CJ Dates agrees. He's a volunteer at Sand River who also serves on the farm's visionary board.
It flies in the face of this idea that like farming has to be about creating a product at the best possible price or the fastest possible way.
Dates says the farm's goal of taking food off the market can seem like a radical idea, but he says it's helped people build relationships with the food they eat and with each other.
You know, sometimes we joke we're practicing for the day that the grocery stores run out of food. So I really see it as a method of organizing people in a way that heals relationships and also connects them to each other and the land and their food production.
As the workday winds down, volunteers gather inside a towering farmhouse. Sunlight spills through the old wooden frame onto a long table that's set for a family-style meal. It starts with a blessing.
For the kind folks gathered round the table.
The people seated around the table say meals like these are what Sand River is all about, creating a space that connects people through a shared love of food.
We give thanks. Blessings on the meal!
And for Sand River's volunteers, these shared moments and that feeling of community is the farm's real gift. David Escobar, North Country Public Radio, Keeseville.
Make sure you vote tonight. Polls are open until 9 o'clock, and we have all of our election reporting in one place so that you can look things up. Go to ncpr.org/election, and we'll have results later tonight on our homepage, ncpr.org. Happy Election Day. Music today by B. Children of Canton and Martha Gallagher of Keene. I'm David Summerstein.